Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Galley La Podcast. I'm your host, Geboss, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Akainu Fanboy.
Yo.
I can tell you're so enthused because we're reviewing Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 269, which is the third to last chapter of the whole series. And man, what a waste of a chapter this is. Oh my gosh. I think this is one of the, I've never felt the author speaking to his audience more than I have in this chapter.
The amount of unnecessary, the superfluous explaining going on here that it's just not needed is insane.
Yeah.
Like, we went through just monologue after monologue after monologue, and now it's like, well, let's do a monologue alternatively about what could have happened, but that wouldn't work.
I mean, it's Gege like doing plot holes like, oh, why couldn't Maki have taken out Kenjaku? Oh, it's because she didn't have any cursed energy, and Yuta needed to do it because of Boogie Woogie. And
I don't care. It's like, I don't care, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean,
character moments.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been explained, like, it could have been inferred or whatever. We could have had our theories, but like explaining it out all like this is just.
But the 3 chapters left. Like, this is what I really care about right now.
Yeah, especially like the cliffhanger from last chapter where it's like, oh, we need to go save Yuta, and it's like, save him from what? Just like getting yelled at by everyone? Like, I thought it was going to be something like he was stuck in Gojo's body or something, or we needed to figure out how to do that. And it's like, oh no,
or sacrifice someone to save his life, you know?
Yeah, no, it's just Maki yelling at him, which doesn't make sense because in the paneling for the last chapter, it showed like Maki walking to the room as the yelling was happening, so it doesn't make sense that she was the one that was yelling. But I don't know. It also the whole.
And also get up.
You go.
Oh no! And also get on my boy Yuta's case. This guy carried. He carried. Okay.
Yeah.
Maki, you have one cool fight sequence and that's it. You didn't do shit. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, she even said like, "Oh, I mean, I got hit with 2 black flashes," but I don't know. I also the whole Yuta in Gojo's body didn't really like amount to anything. He stopped one domain and he just fell over, and it's like, well, if you think about it was because Kenjaku had barrier techniques within his brain that allowed him to. No, what? This isn't what we should be focusing on for this. We still haven't explained like if the culling games are over even or anything.
Yuta, I'm sacrificing myself to become a monster.
Yeah.
One chapter falls over.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was worth it. That was worth it. You know, like I have my criticism of Hunter x Hunter, but like shit, you felt the consequences of turning into a monster. You know.
Well,
like,
speaking of consequences, how do you like the fact that that Higuruma is still alive?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I
didn't know I was reading One Piece.
I was livid that my boy, he's a great character and all, but like, I think his death scene out of everyone was warranted. I thought that he had a good death scene. But it's like, nope, I'm alive still. And
Yep. I wish Yuta died. So you're gonna have to be stuck in this poorly written ending.
Well, like, literally, who died in this? Gojo and Choso and Kashimo. And that's it. not even LaRue died. And like it shows like, oh yeah, and then if Miguel and LaRue had been there from the start, things would have been different. Oh, I didn't know they were.
Oh, and Nobara came back too.
Yeah.
So like that's a 1-. Yeah, -2 +. Yeah.
Yeah. it just feels like this could have been much better used, like not explaining all this stuff. It's not even explaining, it's just kind of justifying the way that Gege wrote it, you know?
It's so bad. Like, I want to see character moments, like, you know, this is the end of the series. Like, you know, like, this is how I got changed, this is how I was affected. Like,
yeah.
You know, you know, this is just the witch girl. I don't even know her name at this point. Okay. Sorry, I didn't do much. No shit. Okay. Like, I don't even know your name. I mean, like.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But,
because you're not a true fan. You don't understand the brilliance. Okay. I mean, God, sorry.
I mean, she literally hasn't done anything since Shibuya, really. But the, I just going back to Higuruma for a second, I find it really irritating that he's like, oh, Sukuna was just playing around. He could have killed me if he was serious. It's like, really? He was just playing around with all this. Like, and he was dismantling you that easily. He deserved to die then. if he was just fucking around. The one thing I did like though was that we get to see like Rika being like a portable thing, and that's where they were watching the whole combat going on. I thought that was interesting because I kind of didn't know where they were supposed to be. That was one of the few things I liked. But but again, it's just kind of like more clarification of stuff, which could have been showed earlier. I don't know. And again, like with Hikari saying like, oh, I was planning on fighting Sukuna, but Urume was really hard. It's like, I wish we got to see that.
Go away.
I wish we got to see that. Yeah.
Bum Hikari, bro. I'm sorry. This like, do you feel closer to any character in this chapter? We probably see like 15 to 16 people in this chapter. Do you feel closer to any of these characters after reading this chapter? No, nothing, no emotion at all. And I know it's possible because I've had emotion with a lot of these characters before, you know? And I just didn't feel anything in this chapter. It's like really disappointing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel for Kusakabe because he's now the new head of the Shadow Style. I'm like, good for you. You're in charge of shit. But anyway, yeah, well, let's get into that because so the first half of the chapter is dealing with shit we already know, and the second half is dealing with shit nobody asked for or cares about.
Yeah,
because like this whole new Shadow Style thing came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and it's like Mei is like, oh, I took care of that. Tengen told me where to go. Okay, when did Tengen tell you? And
now, when did you guys talk?
Yeah, when did Tengen tell you? And
oh, don't worry, we'll have a whole chapter of how they talked, and, you know, and how that. And that's like, the next chapter.
Is that supposed to be her big contribution? Like, she did nothing with Sukuna, like at all. She's supposed to be like a grade 1 sorcerer, and we barely get to see her do anything all series. Like, she was absent from the culling games. She was
Shibuya absent.
Like, seriously, if her whole thing were to end in Shibuya, where she just like disappeared because she was like, oh, I'm not gonna die with this, I think that would have been a fitting end for her character, because it shows like how selfish that she is. Like, her coming back with all this just kind of like
retroactively makes it worse.
Yeah. But yeah, this whole new Shadow Style thing is like, oh, they were stealing the lifespan of all their students who knew this. It's like, okay, if it was shown that like using the new Shadow Style was like detrimental to one's health, or we showed them like there was a price to pay for it, it doesn't, like, I don't get why Gege included this in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
isn't it like interesting how like also no one's mourning Gojo?
Yeah.
I know. I mean, like, I know that's like a weird omission, but you think like the greatest sorcerer, all of his students here, no one seems remotely sad.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's made known the fact that Gege hates Gojo. Like, I think he said it in interviews. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll deal with that in the 2 remaining chapters.
You think it would be now? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we got the letters that he gave Nobara and Fushiguro, but I don't know. It's just...
Yuta's shown plenty of emoji. It's not like Gojo saved Yuta's life.
Yeah.
And brought him a purpose into living.
Yeah. Well, even like earlier in the chapter, like speaking of saving lives, like Kusakabe was like, "Oh yeah, I was in favor of Itadori's execution, but it doesn't really matter now because." I mean, I will say, we do get a little bit of the politics at the end, and you were asking for that when Mei Mei killed the head, and was like, "Oh, you were waiting to gain power with all this." It's like, okay, I wish that they had been hinted at earlier or something.
Yeah. Strong emotional connection with this random old whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, we still haven't, like, they're like, "Oh, Tengen told you," or whatever. And it's like, yeah, we still haven't, like, it's mainly the culling game, and like the merger started to happen. We know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so are there any negative consequences about that? What's gonna happen here?
Yeah.
And like, okay, now that Tengen's gone, like, what's up with like the Jujutsu world, like with curses proliferating everywhere, or like, do we have to find a replacement? Like, what's going on here? It's more like it's both the world and the character character beats are being neglected in terms of in favor of whatever this is.
Yeah. No, agreed.
I'm just perplexed. Like, again, this whole new Shadow style thing is such a weird way to go about this.
Yeah.
It's literally introducing it at the 11th hour, and it's not going to matter in the long run, because
no.
I mean, there's hope that there's going to be like a sequel series.
I don't want that.
Bubutsu Bison. In the vein of Boruto, but
yeah.
I don't know. I want to see how it ends. But man, this chapter really like brought down the pacing and everything.
But like, Maki and Yuta are gonna be shit because she was yelling at him and said, "Oh, never mind." Hit him in the chest. And Panda and Kuzuka are just like giggling and everything. Like, so obviously they're gonna be happily married because their character interactions with one another have led to a beautiful relationship where they should be together and feel that, right? Obviously.
I mean,
it's just like,
I mean, you're not wrong.
I
mean, out of all of that, that's probably like the one good interaction in this chapter. God.
Yeah, it's like that's just been absent since episode 0.
Yeah, I'm looking at this page, and I'm like, okay, even Ino's still alive.
Yeah, well, I like Ino, but yeah. Like,
I mean, I like all the characters here. It's just I feel like they've been given a disservice by the writing.
Hikari should have died. You should have died.
Yeah,
Kusakabe should have died. Miguel should have died.
No, Kusakabe needs to be alive because it's a pain for him to be alive. It's ironic.
He gave up his life. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Nobara should die. You know, come back to life and die. And then Fushiguro should have died.
I mean,
Itadori should have died.
I really think that with Hikari, it would have been cool if like we got to see, because he's such a luck dependent character that if his luck runs out, with his ability, but it's just completely off screen.
Well, his luck ran out because he has such an ass fight. You know, like that's where his luck ran out.
It's for the anime to fill in. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The Mappa slave masters will get a great fight out of it. But yeah, I mean, I hate to be negative because I don't know. I just feel like the way that, especially like given how Shibuya ended up and everything, like I felt the consequences in that. Whereas here, I don't feel like there was like you fought the strongest sorcerer ever, and there was barely any losses.
Yeah, I felt. Yeah, no, it's just bad.
Just let Higuruma die. I would have been happy with that.
Higuruma, Hikari, Nobara, Fushiguro.
But with like Higuruma, he was like gonna turn himself in after the fight if he survived anyway. So his life's basically over because he killed people. But
don't think too much about it. Just don't think.
No, that's for Boruto people. Just don't think about it. It's cool. He can use a planetary Rasengan.
Yeah. No.
But
yeah. I have no more thoughts. I just want the series to end.
Yeah, I mean, I want these last two chapters to be like masterpieces in writing, but I highly doubt they will be. But there's still that glimmer of hope. Although I think I used up all my copium to bring Nobara back, so.
Yeah, was it in The Simpsons? Stop, he's dead already. That's how I feel how Gege is treating this series.
Yeah.
So.
And on that note, I feel like we need to end this. But
yep.
Anyways, let us know what you thought about this chapter. Let us know if you enjoyed it. I would love to hear someone argue in favor of this chapter. And yeah, let us know your predictions and everything. And we will see you guys for the last two chapters coming up in the next weeks. See ya.
Peace.